What's going on, guys? Matt over here with Lethal Camaro, and it is time to take a drive for the first time in my cammed 6th gen Camaro. Let's do this. So what's going on, guys? It's been a little while since I've done one of these. Apologies. Car was in the shop for about a week, and work and vacation and stuff like that. It's just been a little crazy, but I got my car back. It's cammed, it's got headers, she's got flex fuel, she's got everything. And you know, I haven't necessarily done a drive where I actually speak to the differences and the changes that have been applied to the car and what that actually makes the car feel like. In general, the cam itself is obviously going to give the car a little bit more power. It's going to change the way it sounds, the way it idles, all that greatness. Depending on what you like or what you got cam wise, you can get a not aggressive cam, or what most people would call like a stage 3 cam, which is for a car that's not street legal. In this instance, this is almost a stage 2 cam. It's not as aggressive. It is a force induction setup, so it would lay into a stage 2 type setup, considering I will be putting a Pro Charger on the car. But one thing I'll notice is at idle, the car is it's pretty loud with the full exhaust and header, long tube headers, which is what I wanted. It has a nice deep, like bassy tone to it, which again was on my list of things to accomplish. But the one thing that it really does, and mostly at idle, is the car just is alive. Like, you know the car's there, and people around you know you're there as well. And one of the bigger things that I really wanted from the car is obviously the lope sound from the cam, and that cam, like that kind of noise. Like, that's the noise I wanted. That's what I aimed for, and I got it. And I'm really happy with how it all sounds. I'm really happy with it feels, but it all comes down to also the feeling in general. So there's a couple things you have to keep in mind when you put a cam in your car. In this instance, we forewent putting a new converter in the car. Now, a converter is basically what is, how can I summarize this? A converter basically tells you at what RPM level the car can idle at without it wanting to go, basically. And in these cars, putting a cam is a little more difficult than an old school car. And it's funny because, like, you can actually hear the timing all over the place. It's kind of like a roaring ocean of waves. And the idle, I would say, is a little, I mean, it changes the personality of the car, but the idle is rougher, right? You're gonna feel your car, it's gonna wanna surge. So you'll feel like the car it almost feels like it wants to surge. But in reality, that feeling that you're feeling is actually the timing. So the timing's going all over the place, causing the car to kind of shake, and you know, the motion gives you that like almost ocean motion when you're sitting still at idle. It obviously doesn't do it under power. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll be quiet for a second. But once you come down to idle, the car has that nice prancing pony sound, right? And so the other thing is, you know, depending on if you like that feeling, if you want it to be smoothed out, you would either want to replace the converter and go with a stage 2 style, or just a different converter that, you know, adjusts your RPM range. Or you can stay with the stock one like I am currently. I'll probably end up switching to a different converter in the long run, but that won't be until I put force induction on. But again, the cam feel in the drive, like once you actually hit the gas, the car is smooth as day, rides just like it did before I did anything to it. The biggest difference is when you get on the gas, you can hear it. Like, you're just like, oh crap, that car's got power. And it does, it rides really good. I love it, I really love it. I achieved all the goals I wanted. So for those of you who've been watching these videos with me, you guys know what I've been trying to do and achieve. And I just passed an officer, didn't even make him look. But as far as what changes, now there's quite a few changes you're gonna have to get used to. Now, keep in mind, I went with E85, so my fuel levels are gonna be burning a lot faster. Automatically at idle, the car basically just reads 0 miles per gallon. Even if I'm rolling just a little bit. There it goes, now it's saying 4, 5, 6. Like around town, my gas mileage has tanked. like hardcore, and that's with flex fuel. Now I haven't driven the car with pump gas 91 just yet. As soon as I burn this tank of fuel down, I am gonna fill it up with 91 and see how she rides. But under E85, the gas does burn quite a bit noticeably faster. Again, it's kind of unfair to pin it all on E85. Again, I'm not used to how the car runs with its gas mileage with the cam and all the changes that I've done. So it's a little unfair just to blame it on E85, but you know, we'll see. So I'll do more testing and more outlining and all that greatness just to find out exactly what's going on. Now, in my usual fashion, I am here getting my family donuts on a Saturday morning. So I'm gonna go grab some donuts and I'll be right back. It's not that loud. Everybody assumes putting a cam in long tube headers makes your car ridiculously loud. So I got my donuts. One thing just to highlight, again, when I removed my CA Performance test pipes and went with my long tube headers, the tone actually got deeper, and I would almost say it got a little bit quieter. Like, my wife's like, I actually don't hear your car as much. She's like, it's deeper and I can feel a little bit more bass out of it, but as far as noise, it's not as noisy. So I guess that's a win, maybe, I don't know. So, but going back, so we were talking about, what were we talking about? We were talking about fuel and gas mileage and whatnot. So driving and gas mileage, I'm just not entirely sure. Around city, it's pretty bad. I get an average, I think, about 6 miles per gallon compared to like 14 that I used, 14 to 16, depending how I was driving. Then again, I've been on it a little bit, but it's also flex fuel, which burns a little bit faster. So overall, it's just really hard to nail down what exactly the gas mileage is just yet, because I haven't run pump 91 yet, and I just need to do that, and I need to do sufficient freeway driving to get what my average gas mileage is actually under power. And sorry, driving through parking lots, not wanting to get hit by cars. So that all being said, the drivability is really nice. The car runs really smooth. I mean, it didn't really change much. I didn't change the suspension, so I mean, outside of that, once the motor is going, not idle, you actually start moving, it rides just like it used to. It does make some different noises and sounds for the benefit. You know, sounds really good. At least I think so. Let's see if we can, we'll roll down the windows and see if you guys can hear the car under throttle after this light. But yeah, so I mean, as far as doing the cam and everything, the car was in the shop for just under a week. A little bit longer than I had planned, but that was just miscommunication, so it wasn't the end of the world. But you know, the cam swap and getting all the parts and pieces done actually happened pretty quickly. It was getting my car in to get tuned. That was the wait. There was just a lot of cars, and they had some problem cars that bumped a whole bunch of people back. So it is what it is, a performance shop, it happens. And on top of that, it's Cunningham Motorsports, so they're just busy all the time. So if one thing slips, everything gets impacted. Let's roll down the window. Let's get some driving. If these cars would drive over the speed limit, which they're not. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Oh, this truck's turning. Come on, turn already. You're like in the middle of the road turning. Sorry, I got really concentrated there. My tires were slipping. The roads are still a little bit wet, so my tires were spinning all over the place. But oh man, that was a beautiful thing. It's fun. And I was manually shifting. I should have just left it in auto mode so you guys could hear the snap of the shift, but we'll see how that audio comes out. Anyways, so in general, driving with a cam, I don't think changes too much. Idle, you're obviously gonna feel it. Gas mileage wise, I just haven't driven enough mileage to determine what it is. I mean, right now, my fuel economy is showing at 6. Here, I'll put it in auto mode, see where it jumps to. 7. I'm going uphill, and I have my foot into the gas. It's going up to 9, 10. Gassing it a little bit more, dropping it to 3. 3 mpg, gotta love that. But again, that's just around city. So, and it's not always that low. I'm driving uphill with my foot into the gas. So we'll make a turn here where it levels out and see what we're good to. So we're up at speed. Foot's not really into the gas. Jump 25, 44, 56 mpg, 45, 33, 24. I mean, I'm still going uphill, but you know, it balances out once you actually get up to speed. It's just those low speeds and getting up to speed really likes to suck down the gas. And then obviously it being 85, it burns faster. So just a lot more fuel you're dumping into your motor. But yeah, the car runs really well. I'm planning on doing a full drive with E85 and 91 with the cam in the car to give you guys a really good idea how the car's performing MPG wise with these upgrades. Keep in mind the E85 does give you quite a bit of power boost, so I know a lot of you guys are interested in how the car runs just with an E85 for that kind of upgrade. So obviously my car's cammed and has other things to it, but at least I can get a baseline or a rough idea of what kind of highway mileage you guys might see with E85. And my garage is not opening. Come on. Either or, thanks for joining me with this drive, guys. I know it's been a little while since I've created one of these. I apologize, I'm still fighting some sort of sickness. It's actually just congestion here, and it's not even, like, you know, it's not an infectious sickness because it's all clear, and I'm tired of it. I want it all out, I want it done. A lot of videos coming. I believe I'm gonna be going to the Fallbrook Cars and Coffee tomorrow, so if you guys are headed out there, do so. Again, I shot this video this morning. I'm gonna edit it today for you guys. So thanks for joining me for this drive. If you guys have questions around the car, how it drives with the cam, how it's been performing, all that greatness, or what else you guys would like to see in regards to the upgrades I've done, let me know. I'm looking for more video ideas. I have a lot in my head. I just got to get them done. I'm in between rainstorms right now. We got another storm coming in a couple days, so I'm going to try to shoot a whole bunch of videos this weekend so I can start editing those and get those out for the channel. So as always, guys, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe, hit that button right wherever it's at. They're all over the place these days. But if not, likes, comments, shares are also appreciated. Make sure to pick up your Lethal decal and the Lethal merch button below. And also, I now have a mailing address. A lot of you guys have reached out to me and said, hey, do you have a mailing address? I'd like to send you something, which is humbling and awesome in its own right. But I do now have an official mailing address, so if that's something you guys are interested in checking out, it's also below. So, thanks for joining me, and until next time, guys. Wow, that was an earthquake. I'll see you on the road.